Hello friends, let's graph this absolute value function y is equal to absolute value of x. So generally if you want to graph a function, um, you want to plug in your x value into the function to get the y value, right? And then you plot. So in this case, how can we get the x value? So usually for an absolute value function, one way you can get the x value, the accurate x value that will actually give you the shape of the graph, is you consider what is inside the absolute value. In this case, it is x, right? So x is equal to, just equate that to 0. Now, on the number line, locate 0 and choose two numbers below 0 and two numbers above 0. So you can choose -1, -2, and 1 and 2. So you have your x is going to be -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. So, and then you have your y, which is absolute value of x. So now you just plug it into the function, right? Plug the x value. So absolute value of -2 is going to be equal to 2. So in a previous video that I made, I explained in details why absolute value of -2, for example, is equal to 2. In that video, I think it was absolute value of -5. I explained it in details. So I'm going to put the link to that video in the description of this video. So the absolute value of -1 is going to be equal to 1. The absolute value of 0 is 0. The absolute value of 1 is 1. The absolute value of 2 is 2, right? So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to draw the graph. I'm just going to draw the graph. So this is my y, and then this is my uh, x-axis. So I look, this is 0, 1, 2, -1, -2, this is 1, this 2, this 3. Okay, so when x is -2, my y is what? My y is 2. So I locate -2 on the x-axis, then I trace it to 2 on the y-axis. So this is the point of intersection. So that's it. So when x is -1, my y is what? My y is 1. So I locate 1 on the -1 on the x-axis, then I trace it to 1 on the y-axis. So this is it. And then you just plot the other points, right? 0, 1, then 2, right? Just plot the other points. And then what you can just do is just trace and draw a straight line going through those points. And that's it, something like that. And that's the graph. That's the graph of This is the graph of y is equal to absolute value of x. Yeah. So usually the absolute value function, the graph of absolute value function, they are usually symmetric. They're usually symmetric. So what do I mean by symmetric? They look alike on on both sides. So let's look at this example. Okay, so let's grab this one. How can I grab this? First of all, I want to choose the appropriate x value to use to plot my graph. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to um, pick x minus 2, right, equate it to 0 and solve for x. So if you solve for x, you get x is equal to 2, right? So what I want to do is that I want to pick at least two values below 2 and two values above 2. So what I'm going to pick 1 and 0. Those are values below 2. Then I'm going to pick 3 and 4. So I have my x is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? And then my y is absolute value of x minus 2, right? So if you just plug your x in, you have 0 minus 2, this -2, and this 2, 1 minus 2. If you simplify that, you get 1. This 2 minus 2, this is just going to be 0. 3 minus 2, this is just going to be 1. 4 minus 2, this is 2, and the absolute value of 2 is 2. So you have that. So now, if I uh, if I draw the grid, So I have this y and this x axis. So I have 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So and then I have 1, 1, 2, 3. So when x is, so let's look at this. Let's look at this carefully. When x is 0, my y is what? My y is 2. So when x is 0, my y is 2. When x is 0, my y is 2. So I'm going to put a dotted dot there. When x is 1, my y is 1. So I'm going to put another dot here. When x is 2, my y is 0. So I'm going to put another dot here. And when x is 3, my y is 1. So this x3, y is 1 here. When x is 4, my y is 2. So I have this here. Okay, then I'm just going to draw a straight line connecting those points. So this is a straight line, this, and then this is a rough sketch, but this is just the idea, right? So it's where here, somewhere there. Okay, that's the graph of their function. So this is y is equal to absolute value of x minus 2. Yeah, I hope this helps you understand how to graph absolute value function. Thank you.